All right, today we're headed to the stunning Croatian coast to talk about a grape that's a true local hero, Plavac Mali.
Okay, let's just get right into it, because if you're a fan of big, bold red wines, you're going to want to pay attention. We're talking about a grape with a direct and, frankly, pretty shocking family connection to California's own famous Zinfandel.
You see, our story really starts with a puzzle. For hundreds of years, this grape has been the absolute king of Croatian wine, but its real origins were a total mystery, just waiting for modern science to crack the case.
First things first, let's get the name right. It's Plavac Mali, and its name literally means little blue, which refers to the small dark blue berries it grows. But don't let that name fool you. There is absolutely nothing little about the wines this grape produces. It's the most important, most planted red grape in the entire country.
So for the longest time, people just knew it grew like crazy on the Dalmatian coast. Winemakers could see it was similar to other grapes, especially Zinfandel, but the exact link, it was a total mystery. That is, until the scientists got involved and decided to look at its DNA.
And this is where it gets really cool. Researchers, led by the absolute legend Carol Meredith UC Davis, started playing detective. They followed the clues. First, they proved that Zinfandel, California's Zinfandel, was actually this ancient Croatian grape called Tribodrag. And then came the bombshell. Plavac Mali is its kid, a natural cross between that ancient Zinfandel grape and another local variety called Dobrosiček. So not a cousin, not a distant relative, it's actual offspring.
But knowing its family tree is only half the story. To really understand Plavac Mali, you have to understand the place it comes from, a place that's both its biggest enemy and its greatest ally.
The locals have this perfect phrase for it, Shkrta zemlja. It means poor land. And trust me, they're not exaggerating. This isn't some lush, fertile paradise. It's a straight-up battleground of rock and limestone where the vines have to fight for every single drop of water and nutrient. But it's that very struggle that creates the grape's incredible character.
First up, you've got the sun. And we're not talking gentle warmth. We're talking relentless, scorching, all-day Dalmatian sun.
Next, the ground itself. The vineyards are basically carved into these insanely steep, rocky slopes. Sometimes it feels like there's more stone than soil.
And to top it all off, the winds. You got these powerful forces, the cool, dry bora from the mountains and the warm, humid yugo from the sea, just constantly hammering the vines.
So you look at all that and you have to ask, right? How does anything survive here, let alone make incredible wine? Well, in the very best spots, the grape develops a kind of superpower.
And this is it, the secret weapon. It's called the triple insolation effect, which is just a fancy way of saying the grapes get blasted with sun from 3 directions at once. They get direct sun from the sky, obviously. Then they get sunlight reflecting off the bright blue Adriatic Sea. And finally, all that white limestone soaks up heat all day and just radiates it back onto the grapes at night. It's literally a natural convection oven out there.
So what does all this do to the grape itself? All that stress, all that sun, it forces a transformation. The vine takes all that hardship and channels it into pure, concentrated power that you can see and eventually taste.
It's a survival mechanism, really. To protect themselves from that onslaught, the grapes grow these really thick, tough skins. And what that does is it concentrates everything inside, the sugars, the flavors, and of course those powerful tannins that give the wine its incredible structure and backbone.
And you can't forget the people doing the work. They call it heroic viticulture, and for good reason. These slopes are so ridiculously steep, sometimes over 45 degrees, you can't get a tractor in there. No machines. Everything. And I mean everything is done by hand. It's just back-breaking traditional work.
Now, for such a tough little grape, it's actually pretty versatile. While the classic style is this big, bold, powerful red, some winemakers are doing a fresher, younger style. And then there's Prošek, this amazing traditional dessert wine, where they dry the grapes first to create an incredibly rich, sweet, concentrated nectar. So cool.
Okay, so after all that history, that struggle, that heroic work, what's the payoff? Let's talk about what's actually happening when you finally get it in the glass.
Right, so you pour a glass, and the first thing you notice is this deep, dark ruby color. Then you get this huge wave of dark fruit. We're talking dark plum, blackberry, even some dried fig. But what really makes it special is what's underneath all that fruit. You get these savory notes of Mediterranean herbs, some licorice, and if it's got some age on it, you'll find tobacco and even a hint of cocoa. It is complex stuff. And remember that triple sun we talked about? Well, here's the direct result. All that sunshine means super ripe grapes, which means high alcohol. It is totally normal for these wines to be over 14%, even hitting 15%. That's what gives it that big, rich, full-bodied feel.
So a wine this big needs some serious food to go with it, right? You need stuff that can hold its own. Those big tannins are just perfect for cutting through rich, fatty meats like grilled lamb or beef. It's a no-brainer for hearty stews like the classic Croatian dish pastakada. And oh man, with some hard, salty, aged cheese, absolutely fantastic.
And that really brings us to where Plavac Mali is today. It's more than just a grape, right? It's a piece of Croatian identity, a national treasure that's finally getting the global recognition it absolutely deserves.
So let's circle back to its famous parent, Zinfandel. How do they stack up? Well, think of Zinfandel as the polished, super fruity, sometimes jammy, Californian. Plavac Mali is the rugged, old-world kid. It's got that same dark fruit for sure, but it comes with way more structure, more tannin, and this unmistakable, savory, earthy character that just screams, I grew up on a rocky cliff by the sea.
And that's why this all matters right now. Wine lovers everywhere are looking for something real, something authentic. People are tired of the same old grapes. We want wines with a story, a sense of place, and Plavac Mali has that in spades.
Which kind of leaves us with one big question. With a story this epic, a struggle this heroic, and a taste that is just so unique, you have to wonder, has the world's next truly great red wine been hiding out on the Croatian coast this whole time? Guess there's only one way to find out.